Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Payments Podium. Today, we got an interesting topic that we're going to be going over. And, well, we're going to just get right into it. I have Tom Burgess. He is with Snip, and that's snip.com. And he's going to be helping us approach a way to really, I want to say, get around or complement interchange fees. You know, interchange fees are a huge topic whenever you talk to merchants or organizations. And, well, there's two sides to that story. So let's just start with Tom. Welcome to the Payments Podium.
Hey, Kevin. It's nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, thank you for being here. Now, again, I know you do a lot of work when it comes to, with payments media networks is what I'm hearing too. And I might have to have you explain a little bit of what it is that you do, because I really want to get into this. How am I going to be able to, work around or get some benefit back on interchange fees?
Yeah. So first of all, you nailed it. Payments Media Network. What the heck is that, right? I've spent my whole career chasing advertising eyeballs, chasing environments where there aren't offers, aren't ads, isn't a real, used platform to reach the consumer, and then opening up those platforms. So the banking industry has, as we all know, a very large audience, and I look at it as an ad guy that's gone fintech. Sorry. We look at it as this massive eyeballs environment. So we've brought offers in the form of everyday spend coupons to the banking industry. So when a consumer's in their mobile banking application or even website, that consumer can access coupons, can access discounts, savings, everyday purchase type savings. And the banks bring this to their card holders, to their account holders, so they can save money on everyday spend when they're spending with their bank's card. So that's a payments media network. It's a group of banks that we've put together. It's really similar to a retail media network. So payments media network, retail media network, leveraging the large audiences. A retail media network is put out by a retailer, and a payments media network is put out by a bank. And our company powers that.
Right. So if I understand this right, what you're saying is if I log into my app, as a consumer, I'm going to go do my electronic banking. I'm online, I'm doing my banking. You're going to be able to have it to where my particular bank, or I'm assuming credit union too, probably, like a community bank, community credit union, can have certain ads that will pop up. Now I'm thinking too that ads would be relevant to the things that I do. Is that what happens?
Yeah, that's, you know what? I spoke quickly there. So when you think of like the traditional ads, suddenly people are like, "Oh no, I don't want ads in my banking environment." So in the banking environment, it's not like pop-up ads, right? It's not going to be like banner ads that pop up. It's more of like Bank of America has an environment called Bank Ameri Deals. It's an easy one to talk about, right? And you, as a card holder, you can click into Bank Ameri Deals and you can find savings, ways to use your Bank of America credit and debit card and save money. In there, that's one click off, say, the homepage of the app or the website. And in there are going to be, and actually on Bank of America, we just launched. And so 47 million people now have access to coupons that help them save every day when they shop for groceries. So this is the first of its kind. It's the first time it's ever been done.
Is this something like, if I'm getting this right then, if I go in and like, say on a Bank of America card, there's a link I go to and I can activate an offer, like for, let me say example, Under Armour, that if I use my card, I click on the Under Armour thing and I go use my card there and it's tied now to that offer, then I'm going to get a little bit of a kickback for using it that way.
Bingo, you got it. Except the only difference in there is it's been Under Armour or it's been Home Depot or it's been, the big specialty stores that you've seen in there. Maybe even Uber and other things like that you've seen in your Bank Ameri deals or Chase deals or whatever it is, whatever your bank is, right? And you mentioned credit unions. Credit unions are big users of this capability. What hasn't existed in the past is coupons for grocery things. So save $1 off Kraft macaroni and cheese. Save $2 when you buy a package of fresh produce from Kroger, from Albertsons, from Walmart, from these large retailers. That's what we're bringing to the table. That's the real excitement in this payments media
All right,
network
before I
world.
get to why you're doing this, I got to say, I saw a thing on Instagram today where it's a lady, she's at the checkout at the grocery store, and she's telling the checkout guy, you got to stop. The total's going up too fast. It's getting to be too expensive. I can't afford groceries in 2024 anymore. So
Isn't that an awesome? I've seen that. So we've been targeted. We must have the same feed going on Instagram, right? So I've seen that one too. It's really funny where she's like crying because it's too much going on, right? Yes, that's exactly right. And that's the game we're playing in. There are a lot of people. There's this whole crazy coupon kind of culture out there, and people live and die and game the system to find the best deal. Right? I work with a bunch of people that are in this industry, so I'm a little more embedded in it. But there are people on our team that it's a game to them to earn the most discounts on their when they check out. And yeah, that's what we're doing. We're opening up an environment to people that want to save and know how to save on coupons. But when you enter into the banking world, we're bringing those coupons and things to people that have never been part of that too. So I'd love to play that video for the 47 million people on Bank of America and say, hey, this is kind of what you're going to get here.
okay, now here's the thing that's really important. If that's what it is, and I love the idea, I love the concept, but who's it really benefit? I mean, when we see things that come through banking apps, it's common, especially, a lot of the things that will come from my social media channels are, this is only going to help Wall Street. So is it really something that's going to be a benefit to merchants, or will it help community banks, community credit unions, or is it going to benefit the consumer? Who benefits from having these types of coupons available?
Okay, so there are several different constituents here, right? There's the consumer, number one, most important to everybody else that's involved. Then there's the bank or credit union. Then there's the CPG, who is a consumer packaged good like Hershey's or Nestle or somebody like that. And then there's the retailer. And all of them have to benefit in order for this to work. Some benefit more than others. I'll start on the payment side, right? And then the banks and credit unions, they benefit from driving a loyal consumer. Number one, top of wallet. Hey, if I can save more money by using my bank's card, I'm going to pull that one out first. Everybody knows in the payments world knows the term top of wallet. This helps drive top of wallet. Well, the next thing because the banks have a couple of different KPIs that they're tracking when they deploy something like this, is that if a consumer is using their credit or debit card to buy groceries, then that's a great sign, similar to, say, direct deposit, that this is their favorite bank or their number one bank. It already is top of wallet, right? And if it's not top of wallet and you can give something like everyday spend benefit, then maybe you can convert them over.
Wait, did I hear you right that it can help to drive deposits?
It can help. Well, it definitely does drive deposits because as the consumer's spending, they're getting cash deposited into their account because it's a cash back environment. It could be points too. So depending on the bank, we can deploy this as a cash back or as a points earning environment. Either one doesn't make a difference to us.
And like you said, it's kind of like one of those sticky products too, that it gets them, staying within their financial organization using those particular products and services, which I think would also help with the deposits part too.
On the consumer side, they save money. I mean, that's the easiest one to talk about, right? Consumers save money. They whenever they're shopping on the everyday purchases, going to the grocery store, going to Walmart, going to Kroger, Albertsons, whatever you want to call it, wherever your geographic region is in your favorite store, we support them all. And the consumer can go into that store and they can save money on the purchases they make. And it's brought to you by your bank. So that's a cool mix there. Then you talk about the CPGs. The CPGs, or the consumer packaged goods, again, companies, they are always looking for new ways to reach the consumer. They're looking for ways to reach a consumer that might be interested in their products. So yeah, this is one of those things where you got to talk about data for a minute. And banks have purchase data. I'll take a really straightforward one. Let's assume that it's, say, a company that sells frozen pizza, a CPG that sells frozen pizza. If they want to target the right people, and as you mentioned earlier, make sure that the right ads show up in front of the right people, then this frozen pizza CPG can target people that shop at pizza joints, people that order pizza. I'm one of these people, right? I order pizza. I have it ordered, I had delivered in, or I go out and I get it, right? So you can look in the payments history, and it's all generic, so you don't see anybody's name or information or anything like that. But you can see where people spend. And then that pizza company that's selling frozen pizza can say to that consumer, hey, instead of going out to get pizza, get a frozen pizza because our pizza is very good. But so that's targeting that the CPG can take advantage of. So, and it's a very large audience. When you talk about a banking environment and banking applications, the consumers are very loyal and they're very active. They go into these apps sometimes 3 to 4 times a week. Okay, so that's a big opportunity for the CPGs. The final constituent's the retailer. And the retailer has 2 options. One, they can sit back and they can just let it happen and people can go in and make their purchases. They don't need to get involved in this environment. But the neat thing for the retailer is if they want to get involved, that's where we can bring the concept of offsetting interchange. So if a retailer says, hey, man, I pay you banks a lot of money, then the bank that's powered by Snip can talk to the retailer about a way to offset the interchange. Hey, Mr. Retailer, I know you pay us a lot of money for interchange. Instead of maybe reducing and negotiating a lower price and a race to the bottom, because everybody's got to get paid, and the retailers have an argument and the banks have an argument, and I'm not going to get into that multi-billion-dollar legal issue, right? We'll stay away from that for a minute. But it is a problem, right? And this is a way for a bank to solve that problem or at least offset some of the pain in that problem. Because if a retailer says, I tell you what, Mr. Bank, I will give you some of my purchase data, all anonymized and carefully scrubbed, but I'll give you some of my purchase data, and you can then drive people into my particular store. So now it's not, hey, buy Kraft macaroni and cheese at any store. It's buy Kraft macaroni and cheese at that specific store, Kroger, Walmart, Albertsons, something like that, right? And now when the consumer goes in and if the retailer is sharing their data, the bank can actually pay the retailer for that redemption. So that in a transaction happening with a bank can be an offset. So suddenly you can get maybe 20 cents back on every single transaction or every single offer. And when you look at interchange, this is a significant offset. So that's how offset of interchange. And I know I kind of drifted into that. We were going over the constituents there. I left retailers for last because that's the one that has the offset of interchange.
Okay. I want to make sure I'm getting this because I'm sitting here going, I need to go sign up right away. First of all, I do want to repeat something. When we started talking about the data, no PIP, personal information, is exchanged. You said it's scrubbed, it's anonymous data. So everybody out there thinking my data is being sold, it's not like that. It is more like, how much of a particular brand on a particular day is being bought type of stuff, not, so-and-so bought exactly this at this time. So it's not that kind of tracking. I call it, positive data research and analysis because it positively helps everybody involved. And from what I'm hearing, this is a 3-pronged win. I mean, the financial institutions, the banks, the credit unions win. They're helping out their customer. They're going to have a happy customer. They're still going to have that interchange coming in. They're still going to make money off of it. But then the retailer's winning because now they're going to, they should have higher sales, I would hope, too. They're bringing somebody in where they can have
increased basket, sales. Higher sales, more frequency. Yeah, lots of great benefits.
And as a consumer, I'm saving money. So it is a win all the way around. What's the drawback? I got to go ahead and ask, what's hidden behind the curtain? Where's the drawback in this?
Yeah, man, it's new, right? So anything new gets that, I'm never going to put an offer on my bank app. I get that. I've been doing this for a decade, working with the banks on this kind of program for a decade. And it takes that long to move battleships and aircraft carriers like banks, right? So the downside was, it took a long time, right? It took a long time to get this done. The data sharing piece is a scary piece, like you brought up. Is the consumer protected? Is the bank's data protected? Is the retailer's data protected? So you have to go slowly. So for instance, we introduced this capability to the banks about 2 years ago. There's a bunch of history on how we kind of prototyped it a long time ago and then brought it back. But when we introduced it, they wanted to go very fast. They were like, holy cow, this is everyday purchase. This is grocery spend. This is where our card linked offers that they've had for years have never been able to have grocery spend. So the banks wanted to move really fast, but we couldn't because we had to be careful because there's a lot of data involved. So if there's a downside, it's you gotta walk slow. And that's a bummer for anybody that wants to get these kinds of benefits. The good news is we've turned the corner on that. It's live now. It exists. It's real. This is something that it's only been live for a month or so, weeks actually, but it's live and it's up and it's running and it's working, right? So, the big thing when you launch something like this, especially when you launch something that nobody's ever done well or ever done at all before, is will the dogs eat the dog food? Will the people actually want the darn offers, right? And so what we've proven over the last several weeks is they want them. Now our biggest challenge is to feed that engine. So we've got a host. I will go into, a lot of people think Snip's a startup when I'm talking to the payments. Snip's a 10-year-old company, decade-old company that has been working in the CPG space, that has just dipped its toe into the payments industry. I joined the company as a board member and then ended up in the operational role that I'm in now because I was kind of the payments guy. I was the guy coming in saying, hey, there's an audience over here, but we need CPG. So Snip's been a CPG company for a long time. So there's a lot of knowledge. A lot of things coming together, right? And when we launched it, it was it was a lot of people going, wait a minute, you're going to do what? You're going to put coupons in a bank app? There's a lot of confusion, a lot of slow. Okay, let's slow it down. Let's take a look at it.
Well, I do want to say for everybody listening, this is not intended to be a commercial. The reason Tom's on here is because this is true innovation taking place in the electronic banking space. And I got to point out one of the things you said was 10 years to make this happen. And I try to tell people all the time, especially, lay people who are in the industry, are like, why does it take so long? How come we don't already have this? And, to explain to them, to get the banks, to get the credit unions, to get the regulators really to be able to adopt or to make these changes, it takes a long time to get everything in place. Now, can I throw a couple of curveball questions at you? One of them is, one of the big things that's happening now, and it's really a resurgence of something we've had before, but I'm hearing more about pay by bank and how pay by bank is where, I can be, say, at the grocery store, especially if they got an app or a gas station, where I can tie the payment directly to my bank and skip the credit card. Would I still be able to benefit from something like this and then further really help the merchant because there's no interchange, there's no card fee?
Yeah, you can. And we don't care, we being Snip and our Payments Media Network platform is not tied to any specific payment rail structure, right? So we can even do it as simply as a upload of a receipt. Take a darn picture of your receipt after you walk out of the store. So it could be any. And the reason why we support that one is because you'll never really be able to cover every single retailer down to the corner bodega. You won't be able to get to their data. You won't be able to get to their rails very easily if you just rely on the payment rails and especially the traditional payment rails. So new types of payments, we're agnostic is the best word. So yeah, we do support take a picture of your receipt. But we also support barcode, scanning a barcode. We support card linked offer, which means, all you do is as a consumer, as you walk in, you dip your card or swipe your card and walk out the door. Support all of those. And that opens the door for new types of payments, even alternative currency.
Okay, I like that. I like it. Any payment, anywhere, anytime. That makes me think of the big rage we have with instant payments taking place now. So next curveball I got for you is, I'm thinking a small business like me, where, what I sell is limited. I've got 16, 20 products, let's say, that the payments professor actually sells. And they're all the same thing. They're courses. They're publications that help in educating people on electronic payments. Can I go to my bank? Can I go, and say, all right, I've heard about the Snip. I've heard about how they work with coupons. Is there any way that they're going to be able to say, yes, this can benefit you? Or is it going to be something that is more for the mid-sized and larger retailers out there? I mean, what's that space really look like for customers?
All right. So you're dipping into a little bit of a gray area.
Good. I like gray area.
So the answer is, yeah, you could definitely benefit from this if your target market is a consumer market, a consumer marketplace. You want to sell to the consumer, then a bank channel is an awesome channel for you. It's an outstanding place, especially if it's all around payments, which it is for you. Then that consumer, while they're in their banking environment, is in contextually correct environment, right? So, but what we deal with is that SKU level or that item level. So what Snip in particular deals with is that Kraft macaroni and cheese, not the end retailer. And you, in this case, you're the retailer, right? It's your product. Now, you could have what are called tiles. So in those banking environments, you could get your own tile from, say, Bank of America, from Chase, from Wells Fargo, whoever it is, and you could have your own environment, your own store on a bank. So you absolutely could do that. It all depends on what your goals are and who you'd work with. It's something like I'm dying to say. Let's talk afterwards, and I'll lay it out for you so you can take advantage of
it. Oh, he's a salesman. I like that. Well, okay, so Tom, I love this idea because, again, I see this is a new innovation in the banking space. I see it as something that is benefiting all parties involved. And that's one of the things that when we all work together, that's the beauty of it. When the bank can win, the credit union wins, when the consumer wins, when the retailer wins, I love seeing products that are doing all of that. This is where I'd have to ask if you got any closing comments, anything else that we should know about how this works or what are next steps people should be thinking of. And I guess one more thing too, is it appropriate for the community bank, community credit union? Will they be able to offer it to their merchants as well?
We're launching with a network of community and credit union banks and their loyalty partners in about 4 weeks. So not only is it appropriate, but they're going to have it, right? So yeah, absolutely. And I think the only thing I'd leave our conversation with is that concept of offsetting interchange is we've had a great conversation. This is a fun conversation, right? Very positive, upbeat. But that's a big topic, right? And there are billions of dollars every year that are being argued over on interchange, and we're bringing to the market a different perspective on how to offset or how to manage that disagreement, right? Instead of looking at you pay me too much, I got to charge you less, and all of this. Wait a minute. There's a whole audience. There's a whole nother resource. They're called the CPGs. They're called the advertisers. And they're willing to step in. They have money and they want to give it to us. So why not put this together, right? So that's the idea here. And it's a topic that is hard to understand. I've had the opportunity to sit with retailers, lawyers of the retailers, lawyers of the banks, and they all go, offset interchange? Oh, I have to hear about that. The big retailers and the big banks. And this is something that can take hold and grow quickly and can truly have a great impact on offsetting interchange. I think that's our next big challenge. You said, what's next? That's it right there. We're live, we're up, we're running. We've got offers out. The consumers are winning. The big banks are winning. The small banks are about to be on live, and the retailers are winning CPG. Now we have to get that turned into a very clean offsetting of interchange environment. And so we're just trying to push as hard as we can to get people around that corner. Like anything, innovation takes.
Offsetting interchange, I think that's our key buzzword for today and how you're able to do that. Tom, thank you so much for being on. And I want to say to all of you out there listening, you can be winning too. Winning by sending me an email or text and letting me know what you want to see on the Payments Podium. Here on the Payments Podium, we want to make sure that we're covering things as far as rules, regulations, innovations, and, well, problems that exist, issues within the electronic payments industry. So if you've got a topic, you've got a speaker, email me, Kevin@paymentsprofessor.com. I'll do what I can to make sure that we get that addressed. But for now, this is where I say, class dismissed.